vegetables organically, it said.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ah,
Hello.
hello.
We're late. We're disorganised. Actually, we're not disorganised. We're not being joined by anybody yet, so it doesn't matter that we're disorganised. Does it? Really?
No.
So, oh, we are being joined by somebody. Hello.
Hello, somebody.
I'm busy saying we're disorganised. And,
Well, yeah,
you know,
but you're always saying things like that.
well, that's because I'm always disorganised.
And you need to make sure that that doesn't say TC.
I do. I certainly
Hey,
do.
TC.
Hello, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Sorry we are late. My fault entirely. I was eating a bowl of porridge.
She was.
And it
And
was
you really don't want to watch that.
and it was hot.
You really don't want to watch that. It's not pleasant.
So I was eating as fast as I could so that I didn't.
Yeah, and then she had to go and wash her hair because she got porridge in her hair. And
Okay, it's one of those days already. So let's say hello to 1971 Witters. Lorella's here. Hi. Tony's here. Hi, Tony. Thank you for moderating today. Hillary's here. Anne, Walnut Tree Homestead. Evil Spartacus. Robert's here. Kilted Gardener. Laura's here. Hiya. Hello, Pam. Ellie's here from Tethyn Bryn. Joe is here. Hiya, Joe. Dragonfly Urban Gardening. Sweet Olive's here and Tracy's here. Hello. So shall we start, as we often do, with today's weather?
and you might just hear us above the wind, and that's got nothing to do with her porridge.
So if you're if you are fairly new to our live chats, can you say whereabouts in the world you are and what your weather is doing today? We are in southeast Wales and it is blowing a hoolie out there.
And it's going to get blowier.
We are due to have about 80-mile-an-hour winds today, aren't we?
Something like between, yeah. I think they're gusting up to 80, 60 is going to be about the average, but we always seem to get the gusts rather than the average.
Yeah, so it's going to be blowy.
Yeah, that's,
Yes, it
Storm-
is grey, Tracy. It's
Storm
grey
Freya.
here.
It is.
Storm Freya. And Louise has joined us. Hi, Louise. And Steve Plum Wine's here. And Rachel's here. And I'm getting some where people are now. So Rachel's
All I
in
was going to say
Wiltshire. Yeah.
regarding Storm Freya is if we suddenly disappear, it could, of course, be that the power's been cut.
Yes, or yes.
We have to be aware of that. It does happen occasionally.
If the power goes out, does the internet go out as well?
Yes.
All right, well, I know that the phone doesn't go when the power goes, does it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, does it?
Well, the ability to use it does. There's a small
But
amount of
if I was smart, I would put my phone onto
charge.
G4, is what I was thinking. 4G. What's that
4G,
thing?
yeah. Oh, yes, sorry, so
And then
that
it
phone
would-
goes out, not
Okay,
the
so
landline
listen,
phone.
if our phone stops working and therefore we stop speaking to you, I will put my phone onto 4G and then we'll start the live chat again. But in the meantime, I'm going to wait until that's run out.
All right.
I'm going to wait until it says it's a low battery.
Okay. And then if the power goes, you're not going to be able to go on 4G.
Oh, okay.
Hello, I'm bringing logic to the conversation.
Oh, I know. That's a...
Frightens her every time.
And Martin has joined us on Ecocentric Homestead, McLaren Stables, and near Abergavenny. It is very wet and windy, isn't it?
Tony's got two Freyas, inside and out. His youngest called Freya.
It's
a good name, that.
It is a nice name, yes. And Brown Coat Homestead have joined us, and Vicky's joined us. Hi, Vicky. How are you? Vicky's in Scranton, Pennsylvania, where it is 32 degrees F. That's 0. Yeah, and she said, I was saying to Mr. J earlier on that very often when you've had a storm on the east coast of America, that about 3 or 4 days later we get the same storm.
Why don't we
another
get
storm.
it the other way around though? When you have scorching hot lovely weather, that we don't get it 3 or 4 days later. Why does it go in the other direction now?
Oh well, who knows? Who knows? It's slightly warmer in Virginia. Carol's here.
Minus 12 and 18
80
degrees.
degrees F in central Florida.
Yeah, and minus 12
Little bit
wherever Joe
envious.
Brown is. Where's Joe Brown?
Joe,
should know.
I should know. Joe is. I should know. Joe is. Okay, Joe, I'm going to insult you now because I have. Are you in BC?
Yes. She just said so.
I remembered.
British Columbia. Oh my goodness me. The birds are flying backwards out there. Not ours. Although there was one of the chickens out when I was out chopping some wood earlier.
And Baptiste and Homestead, I don't know if I've said that right, is here. And whereabouts in the world are you? It's 36 degrees F, so it's Northern Hemisphere, that's for sure. And Debs is here. She's in Herefordshire.
Yeah.
That's not so far away, is it? And Diana at Justice Acres is here. And what's it doing in Ohio, weather-wise? So, and Sweet Olive says, sitting here, about to start my latest seed order from Baker Creek. So Sweet Olive's in America somewhere. I wish we had Baker Creek type thing here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Baker Creek do fabulous non-GMO heirloom variety seeds.
Oh,
so
okay.
they're a seed company.
Oh,
but
right.
then
Okay.
they
Heritage seeds.
heritage seeds,
Right.
yeah. But new.
Well, yeah, I didn't
Not-
think.
not
I didn't.
actual
Not,
heritage.
These are my great grandpas. 13 miles. 13 miles from Disney.
Carol is 13 miles from Disney, 11 from Orlando. And Woodside Willowcraft are here. Hello, welcome. Where are you based? Are you now? Erica yesterday was telling me that she had met a Willowcraft place that was in West Wales somewhere. So let's find out where Woodside Willowcraft is.
Well, there goes all the blossom.
And Torcy's here from Torcy Waldred's Kitchen Gardener.
Thank you, Vicky. Yes, it would be very nice if you could send some sunshine on a day like today.
Yeah.
Yes, as I was just saying, the blossom is blowing off the trees now because it's been blossoming too early.
Yeah. So we've got damsons and plums that are in full bloom, and it's like confetti everywhere, isn't it?
Yes. Or snow, which is what we were suffering from this time last year.
Yes. And Beth has joined us, and David's here.
And Erica's here.
And Erica's here. Is she? Where's
Yeah,
Erica?
look there. Look, shouting hello there.
Hello, Erica. I'll be blind then. And Jacqueline's here, and Liz is here.
Oh, this is in the wet and windy Birmingham.
Right. Garden organic do heritage.
Organic?
Yeah.
I like that. Organic.
Sounds like a mushroom, isn't it?
Well, I was actually thinking of the Garrick Club in London, dear heart.
Oh no, I was thinking
Yes,
the mushroom
where the old where the actors go.
Oh right. Oh no, I didn't know about that. And Harry's here from Food Forest Permaculture. And I am going to start with my really long list of stuff because for the first time in ages,
she's been harvesting.
Yes, so I'm going to update my homestead harvest total. So for those of you who don't know,
yeah, it does seem like the last time this was done was before Christmas.
No, I did it in February. But for those of you who don't know, at the beginning of June, I started weighing everything that I harvested from the garden to see where I got to by the end of a year. So, and all during the summer and autumn, I did a weekly update. But as I'm not harvesting nearly as much now, it's gone to a monthly at the moment, or when I rememberly at the moment. That's more like it, yeah. So, since my last update, which was on the 27th of January, we've had 1 pound of chard, 13 pounds of parsnips, 9 pounds of swede, which is rutabaga elsewhere, 6 pounds of leeks, a pound of kale, and 2 pounds of beetroot and carrot combined. That's their weight. So that gives me a subtotal of 32 pounds, which means that my running total is 1,247 pounds of food. It's good.
That's
it's
good.
Getting good. Yeah. So since the beginning of June, I'm really pleased about that. It is. That's a good.
That's a good total. That.
Yeah, we haven't added the eggs on
No.
yet or anything like that. So. So I probably missed.
Well, there was a question from Tracy, whose husband gave her a sour cherry tree,
Yes.
wants to know what to do with the cherries. Now, there are some
Oh, you
comments
cook-
coming
you
through,
cook
like
them, yeah.
putting some in a bottle or clear liquor of your choice, leave it to steep, and it comes out amazing.
Yeah, no, and
I'll
you
take
can
your word
just
for that.
cook them in a pie. You can make jam out of them. So sort of almost anything that you're going to add a bit of sugar or honey in. So comment about that's a lot of food. It is a lot of food. Someone said, "Do you eat it all yourselves?" Liz,
Not all at once.
We do eat most of it. The idea is that I grow as much food as I can to instead of an income. So instead of going out to work and earning money to spend in a shop, I provide us with food for the year. Because that then fits in with my my rhythm of coming to a grinding halt every time the light levels get low, and I sit in a fug all winter, and then, well, no, not completely, but I certainly slow down an awful lot, don't I?
Yeah.
And then this time of year, I spring to life again. So it allows me to work with my natural rhythm.
As opposed to being dictated to, of, be in by such and such a time and go out and work in all weathers.
So, health enthusiast has said, Adrienne has said, how are the parsnips that we cooked from the garden?
Very nice.
They
Very
were
nice
lovely.
indeed. The bits that we had roasted and with the meal then were lovely and not woody at all.
No,
and
wasn't
you've
woody.
made mash, haven't you, with the other 75 pounds of parsnip?
Yeah. So the rest of it I just boiled. I cut into pieces and boiled and put in the freezer in 2 containers. One we've already had mashed.
Yes.
And the other one's there waiting to make mash with another meal.
Yes, because we know what they say. For mash, get parsnips.
Yes. Robert says I'm like a plant.
Sorry.
Robert says I'm like a plant. I go to sleep in winter. So,
More like a bear with a sore head.
I'm not very nice to live with in the winter. I know that.
Oh, you're lovely to live with the whole time, darling.
Oh,
I just
know.
I just
don't
know when-
like living with.
I
me
just
in
know
the
when to
winter,
use headphones.
Someone's asking about walking onions. So walking onions are new to me, but basically the onion grows and it grows a flower head, and that forms bulbils on the top of it, and the weight of it makes it bend over, and all those bulbils then root and it spreads out. So it's not like
And then it sings Val Dunican's first hit, does it?
no. Hilary says, shouldn't that, instead of a bear with a sore head, should it be a sore paw? Yeah, that's nicer. That sounds nicer.
Celtic Bear, speaking of bears,
Oh, and Stringfield Ridge Farmers joined us. Hiya.
do you canning or put up your harvest?
Okay, let's talk about some of the things I do there. I also want to say hello to Two Wild Onions, Homestead. Name's making me smile again. And it makes you smile as well.
Well, yeah, 2 wild onions, yeah. Why not?
And Candy's here, and Rock the Caspar is here. And if we've missed anyone else, I'm really sorry. If you want to, if I've missed saying hello to you, can you make a comment saying you missed me? Something like that, and then I can say hello. So, and Eleanor is here. And Health Enthusiast wants to know about, is Byther a family name? Would you
Well,
like to explain?
it is now.
No. Do you want to explain how we...
Because we made it up. We were trying to think of a name for this place that wasn't just, 79,424 Splut Road.
Yeah.
Or something of that nature. And so, we were toying with things in Swedish, and we were toying with things in Welsh, and realising that nobody we knew who wasn't Welsh or Swedish would have been able to pronounce them, including us. And we were just getting, what are we going to do? We're by that, and we're by this, and we're by the this, and we're by the, we're by the, yeah. And it's also where people can come and buy the bits and pieces that we're selling. So it's one of those, plays on words that...
And it worked. It worked for us, so... So there we go. That's how we did that. And then I've...
Tracy wants to know if you're feeling better.
I feel much improved, thank you. It's like a light switch has come on in my head and I'm kind of raring to go. And I have the odd dull moment, but generally...
Generally, she's not dull. Or in Welsh, she's not dull, are you? You're not dull, are you?
No, but I do
Dull
have
in
dull
Welsh.
moments all the time, so... and English Viking John is here. Hello, long time no see. Although having said that, it's probably long time no see to everybody because we weren't here last week. We had a week off. And I had a video.
Oh, yes.
I had a video last
we
week.
were planning to do things, some of which then didn't happen.
Yeah. Robert's saying, I see your potato bin behind you. Yes.
Yes.
I still haven't planted those yet. So if you haven't seen the video about potato growing that Tony and I made last week, earlier in the year when I harvested.
Yeah. Go on. Sorry, I know what's coming.
What, do you want to move your chair over a tiny bit? When I harvested potatoes, I put some in here so I could cook them. I'll cook them in here, store them.
Yeah, ready for future use. Are you ready for
and
this?
then I forgot about them. So
this might not be suitable for young children.
So we have
something from Doctor Who.
we have potato monsters. Oh. So our potato monsters are still in there. Yeah, it's quite smelly actually, isn't it? You can come back. You can come back over here a bit. That's it. And we've also been joined by Laurie and George and Dragonfly Urban Gardening says they're loving the Patreon videos.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's great news. So I do. I aim to do one a week, although it was 2 this week. Videos on Patreon that are completely separate to the ones that are on YouTube. And at the moment, I'm working on a project that I'm only sharing with patrons. So, and that's been ongoing for
some months.
Oh yes, 2 or 3 months now, at least a couple of months. So yeah, there's a story of things that are happening.
Yeah,
so, and it's exciting stuff.
Kate is saying that it's time to either plant or compost those potatoes. But I think you have a plan, don't you?
I'm going to plant them. I am going to plant them. That's probably something I could do. Perhaps Erica could come over and help me plant them. I know she doesn't like them. They're scary potatoes.
Scared of potatoes.
So, Stringfield Ridge Farm. Oh my goodness, a nice potato bin though. Yeah, it is a lovely. I think
it was a bread bin.
It was a bread bin, or we used it as a bread bin to start with, but we don't.
Well, actually, I think we used it as a battery storage bin. We've used it for cat food. We've used it for all sorts. Oh, hello, Monty.
But as we no longer eat bread, no, it's no good as a bread bin. And that 1870s Homestead has joined us. Is that Rachel? Have you joined us today? So, and Jay McHugh is here. Sorry I'm late. Slashing rain here in Dublin. It's what could be described as a bit of a Winnie the Pooh day here.
Yeah.
A bit blustery. It's a blustery day. I have no doubt it's going to get worse.
I'm watching things that we have actually pinned down. If I'm looking sort of askance and into the distance, I'm watching things that we've pinned down, flapping like crazy at the moment.
Oh, yes.
So,
that'd be interesting.
If the whole lot goes, it'd be very interesting. It'd be quite spectacular.
So there is where I put the weed suppressing membrane in the front garden over the, what was that thing? A washout, not a sinkhole. So over that area I put down a strip of weed suppressing membrane, planted strawberries through it and then covered it with wood chips. But there's one little section that is just lifting and flapping
the bits
in
that
the
were on
wind.
it have blown off. So
it may well be that will all. Well, if it does, I'll grab my camera. And
yeah, you might as well get some footage out of it. Eh?
Yeah. Sam's Lopman said there were gales yesterday. Yes, there were gales yesterday, but it's due to be worse than gales today. So it's we're just kind of waiting for that to arrive.
See, when people say gales, I always think lemon curd.
Yeah. Honey. Oh, while we're here and talking of those things, well, no, we are talking about those things. Eric the beekeeper popped by this week, and Eric and I went out to see the bees. You said I looked like a cricket umpire.
You did.
Dressed
The
in
one of my white shirts.
your white shirt and a pair of pale trousers, and off we went. And to be honest, I don't really need them because those bees are so gentle and so docile, but it's better not to risk it. So we went to, Eric came to see if the bees had made it through the winter, which they have indeed. There was just a really small colony going into winter, still a really small colony. So we're going to monitor that, and then in April we're going to open the hive up and go right through it, see how the queen is doing, whether she's laying eggs and whatever it is that she needs to be doing.
English Viking says +1 for well-tempered bees.
Yeah, and they're gentle as anything. I mean, you know, we lifted the lid off, we picked out there's the broody box, and then the broody box, that's a wrong word, isn't it? It's the brooder, and then the super on top of it, and we picked all the frames out of the super, and they all just kind of looked at us and went, yeah, okay, and carried on with what they were doing, which was really nice. But anyway, so the next plan is for us to get another hive, isn't it?
Yes,
and put it in a slightly different place.
We've got a place lined up. We're going to build. I'll build when the weather improves, a stand for it so that it's.
Yeah, and also we've got those great big pallets. So I've got some pallets. What a surprise! I've got some pallets that are 10 feet long and 7 feet high, and my plan is to build a frame. Out of them that will then have a door in it.
So it'll be a bee frame.
And and put chicken wire around the bottom bit so that the chickens can't go in, the bees can get in and out without any problem, but it will just protect them and keep them separated off.
Yeah, Loretta says we call it a brooder box, and that's right.
Emmy says, what type of bees do you have? Buzzing ones. I don't know anything about bees. I really don't know anything about bees. I am learning about them.
They make honey though. They are honey making bees. They're not mason bees or bumbles.
Yeah. So I don't really know anything about them. I'm learning with Eric the bees as we go. Steve says, have you seen those beehives where you turn a key and the honey flows out? I have seen those, and I've seen some really mixed reviews of them. So I think we'll stick with a good old-fashioned one. Because
and you like the comb as well.
I do. I really do. So, and there was what was I in the middle of talking about before we?
I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know. My brain's gone kaplooey, hasn't it? Well, yesterday morning, Mr. J was on an early at work yesterday, and he's a postman. So an early was quite early, wasn't it?
No.
Well,
compared to some of my colleagues who've been there for an hour and a half to 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
no.
But you got up quite early, so you could do your,
my
other bits and pieces. So 4:20, the alarm went off yesterday morning, and you had a bit of sleep in the afternoon, and I stayed awake because an egg customer was coming to get some eggs, and by yesterday evening, I was so tired. The words were just not happening, were they? So I'm still a little bit afraid today, but in good spirits, so that's a good thing. What was that?
That was the cat going out.
All right. And
he must be desperate.
It's not something you'd want to do. Mind you, I went back out this afternoon earlier on to get a load of willow for somebody.
Yeah, I know, but that was a bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we were talking about Patreon earlier on, and I just want to say welcome and thank you to the people who've joined me since I last said welcome and thank you. So that's Debbie, Michael, Laura and Carl. Thank you very much for your support. The support on Patreon helps me to continue making videos. In case you don't know, and I know most of you do, but in case you don't, back at the end of November, I was demonetised by YouTube. We didn't know why. I think I'm beginning to understand why, and at some point I'll put a video together about that. It was quite a complex thing, but it's not anything I did. Definitely not anything I did. So So I don't have an income now. The few egg sales go to pay for the chickens' food. So Patreon is what supports me through this creative process. So thank you.
Martin King liked your thinking on reducing plastic use in recent video.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think it's one of those things that's talked about a lot.
I mean, when we got together X years ago, I think I was greener than what you was.
Yes, it wasn't a competition.
Recycling and all that, you know what I mean?
Actually, do you know one of the best things he did was he'd walk out of a room and he'd turn the light off, even if I was sitting in the room. He was so used to just walking out and turning the lights on, and I'd just sit there in the dark thinking, thanks.
She exaggerates. But yes, we had slightly different views towards recycling, I think, in those days.
Yes.
And she's got much better since.
Yes. I'll recycle anything if I can. So I have got better. So we need to say hello to people as well. AJ's Allotment Garden has joined us. You know what I know what I said? I said to people, if I haven't said hello to you, tell me that you've missed me. And then I didn't see anyone, if anyone had. So try that again.
Hi Chrissy, hi Emily.
Hi Chrissy, hi Emily. If we haven't said hello to you, we'll try it again and I'll watch this time. If we haven't said hello, please say, hello, you missed me, and then we can say hello to you. Either that or we've said hello to everybody.
It's equally possible.
Okay, so Sammy Joe's here. Hello. Yeah, so a couple of things. Yes, so we didn't have a live chat last week, and next week, and Rulander is here. Hiya. And Glenda is here. Can you say hello to people if they say hello?
Yeah, well, I will do if I can.
Yeah.
I might have to get my glasses.
Oh, no, you can squint. That'll be all right. Just get your face really close to it. You'll be fine. So next week, look. The light from your head is going to be blinding people. He may have said a rude word to me then. So next week, I'm going to have a slightly shortened live chat. So I will either start a little bit early or we'll just finish a bit early, because at 3 o'clock next week, Hugh from Hugh's Nursery will be doing a live chat. So I want to make sure I'm finished in plenty of time for him to start. So Hugh,
we can wind the internet up again.
Yes, we can wind the internet up again. So so please pop that in your diary. So 3 o'clock GMT next Sunday, Hugh will be doing a live chat over on his channel. And so Laurie Holmes has joined us, otherwise known as the Salty Cowgirl. Have we missed anyone else? Doesn't it?
Reduce, reuse, reclaim, repurpose, recycle, in that order. Yes, I'd go along with that.
Reduce, I do all of those.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And Daniel's here.
Hello, Daniel.
Hello. I can tick things off my list. Quick, let me tick things off.
I'm glad, Candy, that I read your comment about your hubby starting a free flow hive this spring before I saw he did lots of hives as a teen. Because that comment out of context.
Yes.
Could have thrown me.
And then there was a question in my Facebook group this week, yesterday, in fact, or it might even have been this morning. Oh, yesterday. This week. Brain's not with it. So, if you use wood chips in your garden, does that just encourage slugs to live and reproduce? Does it give slugs a safe haven? So do you have more of a slug problem? And I wasn't sure, because obviously we've got the ducks that hoover up slugs and snails. So I said that I would ask everybody's opinion. So using wood chips on pathways, this is for, do using wood chips on pathways encourage snails? Does
do it innit? Ecocentric Homestead. Am I nearsighted or farsighted? Hang on a minute.
You're nearsighted.
Yeah, I wear them for distance. And I think the fact I can't read this is just to do with light and tired eyes.
Yeah.
Long week. Yes, Kate, she will.
What am I going to do?
You're going to put the link to my Facebook and
for your radio
for my radio
yes,
thing on the Friends page.
Okay, so Mr. J does a radio show. He does two.
I do 2 radio shows
every week. One is an album chart show, a retro
album chart show called the Retro Album Chart Show. Ta-da! Easy, isn't it?
And
this week we're flashing back to 1977 and 1993. Pot pickers not off. Sorry, lapsed into DJ speak there.
So he doesn't sound like that on the radio, I promise you. He's much more sensible than that. Well, he's less corny.
Thank you, Chrissy.
And GYO is here. They've used wood chip about 6 inches deep on the pathway for years, never had an issue with slugs, but it does attract tons of worms as it decomposes. David says the key is to get them before they start breeding.
That Texan says 1977 Led Zeppelin. Actually, not in this edition of the programme. They weren't in the chart this week in 77, but yes, were there, I think.
Were they?
No, the yes is in the experience, sorry. No, yes aren't in the 77 chart this week either. Mr. Gardner says, are my shows aired over the internet? Yes. There are some on FM and DAB in various places, but they're on different stations. So there's a Facebook group, which has a pinned post, which has the schedule, which changes pretty much every week, actually, because different stations change their schedules around. So that there'll be a link to that, which we'll put up after the live chat.
Yep.
We'll put it in this, and also we'll make sure it goes on your Facebook group.
McLaren Stable says, Liz, do the ducks eat any of your plants?
Yes.
Yes, they do. They are particularly partial to onions. They're green onion tops. And what we're actually doing out in the veg garden at the moment is trying to...
fans.
Yeah, is to try and raise the level, the sides of the beds.
Yeah, you may have seen a recent video.
Yeah, I've shown the asparagus bed.
Yes, it's good.
So I'm going around trying to raise the level of the beds enough that the ducks can't A, climb into them, or B, just put their heads over the sides and nibble away at the plants. Because what I'd like to do is to have the ducks be able to go through the veg garden all the time. At the moment they're allowed autumn and winter, but once things start growing in the spring, I have to stop them, particularly in the food forest, because they eat
anything.
Yeah, but they eat the currants and they eat the cherries off the trees and anything they can reach.
We did have there are the plum and damson trees down the back of the duck section, and the first 2 ducks that we had used to get drunk.
Yeah,
they'd sit literally under the tree.
Yeah, so they, so many plums would fall on the ground, and then in the heat they'd start fermenting, and then
in their stomachs they ferment, I think.
Yeah, so
mind you, the first one was pre-plum sourced, so.
Yep. Michael has joined us. Hi, Michael. So I'm going to have a quick look. There are 74 people watching. Good grief, 74 people.
Kate says she's got a huge problem with red ants, and they eat slugs.
Wow. Different ants in America, aren't there? So hang on, look, 73 people watching and 39 thumbs ups on the bit I'm looking at.
David says, have you ever kept quail?
No, we haven't kept quail, and we're not going to be keeping quail. I've thought about it. I can't even tell you why not. It's not that it's such an awful reason. It's just my gut instinct that says I don't want small little birds around. I think I might find it really hard to do the deed when the time came. It almost breaks me to have to dispatch a chick when there is a problem with a chick. So, so I think that's part of it. And I think there's also a thing about if you're going to feed an animal for 8 weeks before it's at eating stage. I'd rather feed a duck for 8 weeks and have 4 or 5 pounds in weight of duck. So, and Jane's joined us. Hi Jane, how are you? And let's have a little look.
I know we've missed a few comments. I did see something about using eggshells to deter slugs. I didn't know that worked.
I don't think it does work, is the answer. I know it's
okay.
one of those things that they say. I was reading RHS, the Royal Horticultural Society, research recently where they did testing on about 15 different things that are supposed to prevent slugs from getting to your plants.
Sarah, no, we're not giving up chickens in favour of ducks.
No.
We will continue to run both.
Yes. But we won't be having the 120 chickens that we had 2 years ago. We're down to 30 at the moment and 1 guinea fowl. It would be none guinea fowl, but I can't catch her. Not even when she's in the shed at night. We went in a couple of nights ago to try and separate her out, and she was just too quick. I woke up when I went in and went and panicked and flapped everywhere. So
that was just Liz panicking and flapping everywhere.
And Dolly's joined us. Hi Dolly, how are you?
Fishbait wants to know how many chicks we hatch a year. Varies.
It does vary. So our first year we hatched big red and big white, and then
that was it.
No, we did. We had some others. I think we hatched about 15 in the end that year. The next year I went mad and hatched about 180. Never again. Last year we did, I think we did about 25, and then the chickens went broody and did about another 8 or 9. And this year, pretty much, not completely, but pretty much the only ones that are going to be hatched are the ones that any broody chickens will do, except for the ones that are in the incubator at the moment, which are due next Sunday. So what I'm hoping is that next Sunday I can actually take my phone over and actually we can watch some chicks hatching. That would be
live chick.
Sorry?
Live chicks.
Live chicks. Yeah, no, I think that would be something else.
English Viking wants to know how many chicken eggs we're averaging a day.
12, 13, 14, something like that.
Yeah. 12 to 18 is about the average at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
This past week.
So, yes. Dolly's saying she's been dealing with chickens at 7 degrees F. Brr. Brr.
Now, have you brought something in, or are you just going nuts?
You have a chat, and I will
find out.
See what.
So let's have a quick look. Does everybody go through that initial chicken glut? I think I don't know. I mean, I suppose it's an element of the excitement of it.
Did you bring something in, Monty?
Sarah's saying, can you use 14 eggs a week? Well, we probably get through about 14 eggs a week between us, and then there are other people that have the other.
I get through about 4 eggs a day on an average day.
Louise Cunningham Jones says, what type of wood chips are best avoided? I think it varies depending on what you're using them for. Leylandii chips you don't want to use on anything, really, do you? Well, we've used them on paths, but they don't break down very well. And there are probably some woods that would be possibly poisonous, or leach some sorts of poisons into the soil you might not want around your food. I honestly couldn't.
Okay, so Leylandii and what's that? A bit of fluff?
A bit of fluff.
Leylandii and one type of sycamore and something else which I can't remember have a growth suppressant in them. So they will actually slow the growth of things down until that substance has broken down.
Joe Brown says cedar chips to be avoided as well.
Well, that's the other one then. There we go. We have whatever the tree surgeon brings. That's just, you know, we don't specify. We have all of them because he brings them and they're free of charge, and we do him a favour by taking them,
and he does us a favour
by bringing them. So we just have whatever there is. If there's a leylandite, cedar, and that sycamore, and possibly yew, anything like that, just goes onto the pathways for a couple of years before it goes onto the beds. In fact, to be honest, now we're just using pretty much all of it for pathways, and I've got a stack of evergreen oak that Hugh moved for me when we had the turkeys last year, and that's now just quietly rotting down. So that hopefully will be lovely when that's done. So Byther Farm is here. Hello. That's Dramer. A Total Chaos Homestead is here. Good morning. Now then, let's have a quick look.
Laurie Holmes incorporates the wood chips into either mulch or manure. Yeah, that's another way of doing it. I mean, I think gradually it sort of tends to go that way here as well.
It does. We just can't produce enough compost to be able to mix it in with things. We have almost no grass for cutting here now, do we? The birds eat most of it, and the rest of it is being
covered.
Yeah.
Black walnut chips are no good either.
Oh, okay.
I think that's something we're going to really come across over here, isn't it?
I don't know whether we just have walnut trees or black walnut trees. I don't know what sort of. Anyway, question. Joe, who is a patron, asked on Patreon page where there is a priority questions thing. So if someone asks a question there,
we should have a little jingle for this, shouldn't we? Your patron priority question.
Yeah. We'll sing a little jingle then.
We'll get Louise to do it.
And we could do, couldn't we? Louise is from Kafka Diva, who are the bands that allow us to use their song for the beginning and end of all my videos, except for the one yesterday where it was just the end. But anyway, so Joe asked about various different poultry questions. Do you know, Joe, that's such a good question. I think I'm just going to make a series of videos about each of those subjects. He wanted to know about various different things with turkeys and chickens and ducks and guineas and things. So I'm going to do that then.
Louise got scared.
That's why I explained Louise. I suddenly thought she's probably going, I can sing. I'm just not allowed to. I sing to myself, to the radio.
Yeah. You see, like I said, I know when to use headphones.
And
David's partner won't let them use any more lawn for veggies.
Wait, well, they've gone to work.
Yeah. I mean, lawn is just a weed, really, isn't it?
Well, it's just a food. It's something you can't eat. If you've got, we don't have children here. We've got the luxury of having the space that if we wanted to sunbathe, we have a deck to do that on. We've got adequate space. I'm not very keen on lawns. You hate mowing the lawn, so we're very happy to pretty much get rid of it.
Did the cat drag something in? Says Kilted Gardener.
It doesn't look like he did. Monty, who is 12 years old, for the last few months, occasionally has been having spasms. What is it he's having?
It's when he
episodes. I think is the best way.
He overreaches, and it obviously twinges something. It doesn't have what looks a bit like an epileptic fit, but I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
And you thought he was doing that then?
That is what he was doing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
So he was having a moment, and then after he'd done that, he's fine. So I can only assume it must be pinching a nerve or something like that to be hurting him. So, David, the other thing is to buy Heather Flores's book, Grow Food Not Lawns, which gives you some really good ideas about about how to better use that grass. Yeah? Yeah.
Health enthusiasts cat lived to be. I actually had a cat that, I think the oldest cat I ever had was 28, but that's quite unusual.
That's really unusual, isn't it?
In fact,
Who was that?
That was Pickles.
All right, yeah.
But I think, I mean, more commonly cats get to sort of 14, 16, 18.
Yeah. Ruth saying maybe worth a vet check. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is that unless he's actually doing it, there's nothing to see. Unless he's actually doing, he looks incredibly healthy and happy and fine. And those episodes are sort of once every few weeks.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, sometimes he'll do it a couple of times in a day, and then you won't have anything for 10, 12 weeks.
Dolly's saying, "Can I video it on my phone?" The thing is, you heard him do it. It's like a couple of seconds worth, and by the time I picked up my phone and clicked, and opened my camera, he would have finished. So, yeah. So
Bruce saying it could be the kidneys.
Yeah, I said
you did one of that.
mentioned kidneys, didn't I? So, Eddie's saying my old boy was 23, and the last one was 16. And I've had several cats go at 9 and 11 years old, so...
I've had a few that have gone sort of 12, 14 years old, as I said, and then others that have got into their 20s. And obviously, our first cat together, he got card, didn't he?
Yeah, so Archie, who we we adopted him for some friends, moved here with us. We kept him inside for a couple of weeks.
We did everything according to,
and then on the fourth day that he was going outside, he didn't come home, and he'd wandered up the lane.
We think he'd possibly been chased by something, actually.
Yeah. Anyway,
because he was the most road savvy cat I've ever known in my life.
Yes. So, and Tony said, "Hiya, Tony." I'm sure I've missed someone else. Kerry L. Did I say hello to Kerry L earlier on? If not, hello, Kerry. Monty is a replacement for Archie, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had Monty for
3 years?
2 years? I don't know. Some time. 2 years, I think we've had him. So my other bit of news was I have resurrected my Facebook page. So I've got a Facebook group, of which I know loads of you are a member. I've also resurrected my Facebook page, so which is just called Byther Farm, and I'll post links to videos on there and just other photos that might not be in the group.
Monty was adopted. His previous owners had died, and he and his sister had been living on their own in a house for a year.
Yeah.
With someone going in and feeding them, but...
yeah, they have been on their own.
And then, so we adopted both of them, but unfortunately Tabitha...
is no longer with us.
No longer with us. She had incontinence problems.
I don't know why you're saying it quietly. She peed everywhere. She just left little puddles all over the place.
Yeah. She looked shocked by it when she did it.
Yeah. So we consulted with the vet several times and then made that difficult decision. And I made a very moving tribute video to her about 15, 16 months ago.
Dolly's got a 12-week-old kitten and a 10-year-old lady that's not happy with the kitten.
Yeah.
I can believe that.
Yeah. Before we get any further, I want to say thank you to the moderators who work endlessly. And what has been so nice is that I could be inviting problems here, but it does seem that this week we haven't been troubled by
those that we are troubled by sometimes.
The unwanted visitors. But thank you ever so much for being here and for moderating for us. Ruth saying thank you, moderator. Yeah, I think it's definitely. Let's not.
No, use that word.
Yeah, they that won't be mentioned. So there we go.
Are you talking about the Norwegian bridge dwellers?
I am talking about Are they always Norwegian?
They are, as far as the Swedes are concerned.
Well, yes. So, David's talking about he's bought some tomato seeds. So, as you all probably know, my quest to not sow any seeds until March failed, and I started the last week in February. But it was so close. I was so close. Next year, I might try and hold out for an even couple of weeks longer. Seems unlikely. So I'm delighted that I've now started sowing, and I've got loads. I've got masses done in the garden this week. Actually, I've cleared beds. I've planted onions, and Mr. J's making all sorts of signs at me. I don't know. I've put the. I've put a couple more raised bed sides in, and yeah, so I've been out there working really hard. So Louise is saying, when do you sow your parsnips? End of April. It will be a while. The ground needs to be warmed, so somewhere between end of March and the middle of May, I think is fine. That gives them plenty of growing time, but they won't germinate terribly well when it's cold, like everything else. Cool, the chat's going really quickly now, isn't it?
Sorry, we just got a bright bit.
And Susan's saying, what should I sow this week? Susan, can you remind us which country and which part of the country you're in? So,
Cheerio, Steve Plumwine.
Oh, has he gone? Don't go, Steve. Hang on a minute.
He's got his gate's being called.
His what?
His gate's being called, which I suspect means he's flying somewhere.
Oh, he is. Yes, he's flying back to France.
Well, there you are. He's had a great week in Leicester, and he's flying back to France.
Yes. Oh, I've still got the label on it, but you know, that will do. I have finally bottled up.
You're not going to open that one, are you?
No, I have finally bottled up
This.
the beetroot wine. Did I film it? No, I meant to film it so I could.
She was doing it. Oh, I want to clear up.
I was having a I'm going to clear up mood. Okay, so I will go back through and do a. Well, I can just use a different wine. Anyway, means I can finish my beetroot wine video and show you. But what a fabulous colour that is. I'm going to hold it up again. It is just. It's beautiful. If I move my red top out of the way so I'm not making it look any. Isn't that a lovely colour?
Oh, that's right. We'll leave it there. That's fine.
No, it's all right. Put it down. Put it down. But I am covering it to exclude the light because apparently it will go an odd shade of brown.
Which you really wouldn't want to drink.
No.
Would you like a glass of something in an odd shade of brown?
Well, like beer.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't drink that, would I?
No. So.
Yeah, there you go. Steve managed to see it. Well
good.
done.
Have a good flight. So Susan's in Spain. Super warm days, chilly nights. It's the chilly nights that are still a bit of an issue. So, oh, and Katie's here from Butcher, Baker and Keso Maker. Katie sent me a load of recipes.
All right.
For doing things like quark, making quark, things like
Quark,
that.
Strangers and Charm. 1977, that was my favourite Hawkwood album.
Oh, what? Quark?
Quark, Strangers and Charm. Sorry, it's getting a bit bright here.
It is actually.
I'm not sure if I'm getting ready
We're
for the
facing-
ZZ Top tribute or the Roy Orbison, really.
You sound like the bloke off Tintin. Who was it? You told me the other day.
Blistering Barnacles, you mean Captain Haddock?
Captain Haddock, there you go. So, yeah, we are facing the windows. And so as we look up at the phone, which we're using as a camera, we're getting that, you know that thing when you look into the bright light, but there's something in the way, you end up with a, what's it called? There is a specific name.
Glare.
No, there's a specific name when you get a funny mark on your eye. Anyway. So, Crystal Burns, hiya, says, what's Mr. J's favourite Pink Floyd album? I think
You think?
it's Wait a minute.
Just about by a hair's breadth from dark side. But then, and then.
Do you know, I feel so chuffed. I feel so chuffed tonight.
Yeah.
I feel so chuffed to remember the name of one. Now I can remember the division battle, and I know that
Yeah.
I knew that, wasn't it? Shall we tell people where we're going next month?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't need to go anywhere. You can just. Yeah, Dark Side is probably my favourite on the grounds. I don't know. I've heard any of the others.
You fibber.
Well, have I actually heard them all the way through?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, Mr. Joe's disappeared. Next month we are going to see. I've got to hope I've got the name right. We're going to see Nick Mason.
We're going to see Nick Mason's Saucer Full of Secrets.
Which will be the last member of the band for me to go and see solo.
Yes.
So we've seen.
Well, yes, because obviously Richard Wright never did any solo gigs.
No, but we went to see. Help me out. We went to see The Wall, didn't we?
Yeah, so Roger Waters doing The Wall.
As your birthday present a few years ago.
And then we went to the Hay Festival a couple of years ago to see Polly Sampson and David Gilmour doing a chat.
That was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good. So that was very similar to what we're doing now. They were just sitting and chatting, except there was a bit more of an agenda.
Yeah,
wasn't
well, there was an interviewer.
Was there?
Yes. Rosie Boycott, I think it was.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Anyway.
Anyway, that was very interesting. So yeah, so we're going to go and see Nick Mason at the end of April, which is very nice.
And then Big Train in November. Looking forward to that too.
Am I going to that?
Yes.
Am I?
Yes.
Who's that?
Big Train. Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant band. Absolutely brilliant band. Really nice people. I'm looking forward to meeting them.
I'll tell you what, I'm just going to carry on catching up with this.
Cheerio, Carol.
So Susan was asking about seeds. Hopefully, Susan, somebody else in the chat has answered some of your questions about saying seeds, because Susan's saying the chat's going so fast. Yeah, it is going really quickly. So we're actually just kind of getting glimpses of. Would you like to just pull the curtain across a tiny bit so I'm not quite so blinded? They're on the outside of my ears. Darling. Is it a good look?
Oh yeah, perfect. Brilliant.
Oh no, it was that one that's.
Well, you didn't say. You just said, could you draw them? You didn't say which ones.
Oh, that's better. Dear. Oh, Rock the Casbah, thank you very much for joining us. They're saying their internet keeps dropping out, so they'll see us next time. So, and Donna is here. Hi, Donna. I know there are loads of people here that I haven't said hello to. So, and Benny's just joined us. Hiya. The sun was only out for a few moments in between rain clouds,
yes.
I think, but it was quite bright.
Good morning, Anna in Mississippi.
Yes. Mimsy's garden. That's nice. So that's cool. Tony's helping people out with seed questions. Sarah said, "Wow, huge gusts of wind." So yeah, so you're getting the winds a bit after us, I think, as it comes across the country. Okay, so
Green Raven is saying, "I think Liz does not want to talk about the parsnip."
Okay, so Laura asked me once again, or whoever was asking about parsnip stuff, please ask the question again. And Greta's garden is saying, did we eat the parsnip? Yes, we ate the parsnip. So 1/3 of it I roasted, 2/3 of it I boiled and froze, and we've had one lot with mash.
Yeah.
Crystal's saying, what's the next thing you'll harvest? It's going to be the leeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I have harvested all the swede, which is rutabaga, to mash and freeze.
Dolly's saying, "Do we have a good St David's?" It was quiet for you. I was hard at work delivering leeks. I did a massive amount in the garden on Friday, so yeah, it was a good day. So Susan says her new lemon tree has produced 16 lemons in 2 weeks. Wow. Make lemonade. Chrissy, we're going to see Nick Mason's Source Full of Secrets next month.
Yeah.
I'll be banging on about it on the show as well, I expect.
Yes.
Playing old Pink Floyd songs that are relevant. And Kate, I was asking how the registration was going for the courses.
All right. Well, they're all going via Hugh because he set up the Eventbrite page for us. And I did message him earlier on to ask him how many people had registered. And he hasn't replied yet. And that's because his internet connection is fairly ropey, and on a day like today...
It makes ours look super fast.
Yeah. On a day like today, he's unlikely to get many messages. So, Christopher says, do you celebrate St. Paddy's, St. Patrick's Day? Well, no, we don't. Neither of us have got Irish backgrounds.
Do you know what? You're wrong there.
All right, none of us have got very obvious Irish backgrounds.
I actually do partly. My great
yeah, but that's not your parents, is it?
No, it's not my parents. No, you're right there.
No, we don't. So we celebrate St David's Day because we live in Wales.
And it would be rude not to.
And it would be rude not to. We are very much part of this community, so we do that. Other than that, we don't.
No, we mention Sweden's National Day occasionally.
We do because Mr J's mother was Swedish.
Yeah.
So.
Time change next week, says Doc. This is America. Is America changing the time zones next week?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's useful for me to know because obviously that's when I get my couple of weeks where the shows are at different times to what I'm expecting.
Yeah. So.
Spring forward. Thank you, Dolly.
So Susan's saying she moved from Wales to Spain. Yeah, but it's a bit of a different climate there.
No, I didn't wear a leek in my hat, Roo. It doesn't really go with a baseball cap, does it?
No. So, yes, there you go. It's March the 10th in America. And
then at the end of the March here. So, yes, there's a couple of, there's 18 days or something.
Dolly, thank you ever so much for letting me know, because we'll have to make sure that when we put notices out, we tell people the right time. But does that mean, on the grounds that ours don't change at the same time, you will have a bit more of a lie-in if you want to be able to join us on the live chat? So that would be quite good. There we go.
I'm just making a note so I can...
Oh, okay. Candy, thank you for joining us. Yeah, we need to check about all of those things. I probably need to tell Hugh as well.
Yes.
Because he won't remember. Will he? No.
No.
I doubt it. So I have come to the end of my list of things I wanted to talk about today. Just to let you know, for those of you who didn't hear me earlier on, next week my live chat will be a bit shorter. I'll either start it a bit earlier or it will be shorter. Or both. But that is because Hugh Richards from Hugh's Nursery is going live at 3 p.m. GMT next Sunday, and we want to be off air in plenty of time for that.
Jane Kelly says, "Did you know that you clash with Radio 4's Gardeners Question Time?" But that's on Fridays.
Is it?
Yeah, Friday afternoon.
Well, maybe Jane works. Maybe it's repeated on a Sunday.
I know. I was teasing.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I know it goes out twice.
So.
But, you know, you can always catch us on Catch Up or use the, the BBC Sound app to listen to it.
Oh, right. Yeah. So.
Good grief, I'm plugging the BBC and they don't pay me.
Yes, don't.
Give me a job, Beam.
Dolly is just asking, what is bolting? Because someone's talking about their vegetables bolting. It's when they do that very rapid growth just before they go to seed. So basically it's going to
like
seed.
Like the Usain Bolt?
Yes, very rapid. No, it's going to seed, Dolly. So Yes, so David is saying Monty's on is back this Friday on Gardener's World. It is, and depending on where you are in the country, you can watch it. You can actually watch it 3 times over. So if you're in Northern Ireland, it is on Friday at 7:30. If you're if you are in England, I think it's 8:30, and if you're in Wales, it's either 9 or 9:30. So it's on. You can watch.
I didn't know I was living with a BBC Two continuity announcer.
That's important stuff.
So you'll be wanting me to record the BBC Two Wales transmission of it at 9:30.
So Dolly said, "No, I meant what specifically is bolting." Oh right. Oh what? Not what does it mean, but what plants.
Oh,
I'll be quiet. Sorry,
have
I just mansplained that? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Bookmarked. Gardener's question time for Liz.
Dolly's probably thinking I'm so rude explaining that to her. I'm really sorry. See, I took that as what is, not what is bolting. So. Oh dear. So, okay. So now let's have a little look. Where are we? Crystal says, "How are your temperatures over there in Wales?" They're not bad in the house. We've had the heating on nearly all day.
Currently outside it's 11 degrees with a real feel of 3. That's Celsius.
Okay,
Don't ask me to translate that into Fahrenheit because I can't.
3 is 36 degrees F. So, yeah. Laura says she's not anyone's talking about. Well, that's okay.
None of us do either.
So, and Dawn has just joined us. Oh, Dawn, I don't want to sound rude. Please don't be offended, but I am just about to start wrapping this up. We've been live for an hour and 15 minutes, or an hour and something. I had a cup of tea when we started, which I've still got, and it's very, very cold. And
I was going to put that away.
Okay. You're going to put the kettle on at the same time?
I can do. Would you like me to put the kettle on, darling?
Yes, please. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so I am going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I will be back on Tuesday with another video. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them here. I will try and get through them next week.
Don't forget the Facebook page.
Yes, don't forget to like my Facebook page. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and all those other social medias. And so, wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for the rest of your weekend, have a good one. And I also hope